Okay, I am being sincere, Kate. I know that you want the best for kids. I promise you, I have no doubt. But please let us, parents and teachers involved in the decision process, the metric system, all this stuff, please let us have a say in this, because I promise you, if you were to just ask us, we feel comfortable. So then guess what? We feel comfortable, then we get a chance to go just like the other kids who don't feel comfortable, and that's fine, but please find it deep down in your soul, okay? We believe in you.
Amen.
So, thank you all for coming tonight. My name is Shalise Olson. I one day was realizing that I had too many texts in my thread box from other parents and other teachers on day 1, day 2, that were just not happy, and they were all frustrating, every one of us. And it took about 48 hours for all of us to say, we can't deal with this. It is not okay that we don't get to share what we feel comfortable with, and that we just have to go along with, you know, the metrics or what the school boards decide. So one day I sat down and I told my friends, I said, well, let's get all these kids and we'll show up on the Capitol with their laptops, and they can, you know, watch them try to do school all day, and then they can come and try to help them and, you know, watch them cry and watch us cry. And then I said, well, that probably won't get anywhere. So then I said, well, I've always kind of seen that change.org thing, so I'm like, okay, well, maybe we'll try one of those. So I spent way too many hours one day working on that, and we got it out there, and then it just kind of gained momentum. And thank you to all of you who signed it and shared it, and were brave enough to post it on your Facebook, on your Instagram, and to take a stand and say, you know what we have is not okay, and we want an option to be in school as well. So then, you know, the petition started, and we said, okay. And then other people on everybody's, you know, you get members of these groups and stuff, and they're like, well, when are we gonna rally? When are we gonna rally? And I said, well, we can do it Monday. So I'm glad, thank you, it came together really fast. Seriously, thank you all. Really, you guys honestly are why it all spread. So you guys are awesome. I'm so glad to know there are so many people in Oregon, not only here right now, but in Bend right now, at the same time, they're having a rally as well. In Medford, same time right now, rallying as well for the same cause. So we hope that by doing this, that our governor, that the Oregon Department of Education, that the OHA, our superintendents, our everybody, and school boards particularly, will realize that there are a lot of people, a lot of teachers, a lot of students who are ready and wanting to go back, because they know that that is the best education, the best way for our kids to learn to have that connection with their teachers.
All right, let me get a picture of that sign. Good message. So what do you have to say about going back to school?
Well, I know personally with me and my friend group, I moved from Oregon to Washington, and I have no friends, and it's really hard on me not being able to go to school and make those friendships that I normally would. So everything's online, and it's like you can't really talk about things and make friendships over online because it's just school, and it's
lonely.
It's so lonely.
It's depressing.
Yeah. And I've been struggling with mental health issues for a really long time, and this has just taken a huge toll on me, and
You don't deserve it.
No.
Thank you. So you're saying that you'd like to ask Kate Brown nicely, please open the schools?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
People need to go to school. They need to be able to make friends. They need social interaction. It's causing depression.
Well, I think we need to open our schools. There's kids that are on IEPs that aren't being followed, and they're falling behind, and the more behind they get, it's not fair to their education, it's not fair to their future, and it's time to open up schools. If I can go to nursing school once a week and have kids in my class, and there's daycares that are open in these schools, why can't we open up our schools? They can wear a mask, I get that, but it's time.
I also wonder what's happening with our tax money personally, don't you?
Absolutely.
Like they get like $14,000 per kid. Did you know that?
Oh, I absolutely know that, because there was a specific, so I have a terminally ill child who is at home right now, obviously, and it's crucial to his health, but I actually had the school district tell me that they wanted the money and for him, etc. So here's what I have to say is it's just, Kate Brown, this COVID stuff is over with. The flu is just as bad. My son's doctor flat out told me that we just need to take precautions as if it was the flu. So we should have been wearing masks years ago. Where was this when MRSA happened and all these other outbreaks?
Swine flu.
Exactly. We didn't close everything. Some of us have jobs. We need to get back to our lives. This isn't fair.
Right.
If you can go to work every day, why can't we?
I'm a teacher. I've taught for 20 years. I have a son who is in high school, McNary. My daughter's in college. And for me, it's really hard to see my son have no schedule or routine and not get to see his friends, not get to go to school and have teachers help him. I don't know how many, you guys are finding this out. It's hard to educate your own child. It's a different relationship. And so I don't want to ruin the relationship I have with Ryan, being on him all day long about school. And it just is killing me to see the struggles I see with not only him, but friends of his, that struggle with not having that social aspect. And that's one thing. The other thing that's hard is I just believe, like Shalise does, everybody should have choices. And I'm not saying everybody should go back to school all day, cram us all in one room. But I think that we could do it safely in a hybrid model. And I think that we should put some more thought into that, and at least we should have some choices, and at least there should be some conversations. And the other thing is, it's really hard to go around town. I said to my friend Jenny earlier, it's hard to go places and see everything open. I walk at the park, I see the playgrounds, I see people playing volleyball in the sand court, I see sports happening. And it's hard to see sports happening for certain privileged, I guess, for a better word, lack of a better word, privileged people that can afford the sports, getting to play for those sports, and all kids are not allowed to play. And again, kids need to be in school, kids need to be playing sports, kids need to see their friends. And I think that we could do some of those things and do it safely. And the last thing I just want to say that breaks my heart, because I feel like people are really down on teachers, I don't understand when I see people say, I'm really scared, I'm worried about my health. I get that. And I think that if that's your position, totally fine. We have those online positions. But I think if you are willing to go back, you should have the choice to be able to go back. And I don't understand why my life is more important than any other essential worker. Thanks.
As a mom of 5 children who works hard to provide for her family, we need our schools open for the mental health, the solid education for our kids. This is what we pay our taxes for. This is our expectation.
Where's that money going?
Exactly. And hang on, for our school district, our teachers are working really hard, right? Our teachers are doing a great job what they can do. But without an in-person education, a screen education is severely lacking the components that make a well-rounded experience and education for the students. We need school to be open in person. Teachers teaching over screen is very limited. It's not good enough. It's not good enough.
Honestly, I did not like school in general, like in person at first. Then when I got to school online, it really tanked everything for me. My grades, my mental health, and all of it. So if we were to go back to school, that would be great, and please do that so everyone else can have the same chance to a lot of people don't have food to eat right now, and a lot of people don't have the resources to go back to school. So if we can, then that would be great. Please make the change. Thank you.
Hi. Cape Brown, can we please open schools again? Online schooling is not working and I want to go back.
Been a basketball coach for 25 years. So he is going to speak on behalf of a parent, a coach, and we are going to listen to all of his wonderful wisdom. Travis!
All right, thanks so much. If you guys can't hear, just come forward. I'm going to make sure I read off of my notes so I can keep clear eyes here. So I've coached high school basketball for 24, 25 years now. So I think it's my 25th year. And I've seen the benefits of sports and activities and the incredible roles they play in all of our children's lives. So I want to touch on a few things before I speak about the amazing impact that the sports and activities have on children. So I saw something today that kind of spoke to me. It said, our children should not be responsible for these following things: caring for siblings, being the emotional support for their siblings and parents. Children should not be responsible for finding money to pay bills, or creating rules, structure, and order because the adults in their homes can't or won't. They shouldn't be responsible for protecting themselves and siblings from adults who try to hurt them. Those are our duties as parents, but some parents are having to choose certain things. So for example, parents should not have to keep choosing between keeping their job or helping their kids on Zoom calls. And that's where we're at today as families. So I want to clarify, when I speak of sports, I'm referring to all sports and activities such as choir and band and FFA and all those different things like Woods class and mechanics and all those things as well. So all of those programs will shape our children and help mold them into the adults they will become. Sports and activities are essential. Sports help build bonds and friendships they will have the rest of their lives. No other thing in life affords children such an opportunity to develop positive character traits and learn quality values as sports does. Nelson Mandela said, quote, "Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sport can create hope where once there was only despair." And that's what we see right now, is a lot of despair amongst our youth. So a child's character and moral principles are helped form through fair play and competition that sports provides. Playing sports enables them to create friendships they otherwise might not have formed. They would create lifelong relationships with coaches and teachers who love and care about them. Sports bring people together for a common goal regardless of their nationality, religion, culture, or skin color. Teamwork and benefits of social interaction among children are best seen in sports and activities. They learn to respect authority, rules, teammates, and opponents. Most importantly, participating in sports is a helpful way of reducing stress, increasing feelings of physical and mental well-being. Sports teach our children the important qualities of integrity, hard work, commitment, communication, teamwork, accountability, sportsmanship, and how to handle winning and losing on and off the field. Having our children at home is much more of a risk to their lives and physical and mental state than possibility of getting sick. Drug abuse, alcohol abuse, sex abuse, physical and mental abuse, porn addictions, suicidal thoughts, and suicidal actions are just some of the incredibly harmful things facing our children while they're distance learning. I don't think the proponent understands all the issues that our children are dealing with Yeah, there's a possibility they could get sick. There's a possibility that a child could lose their life or be abused. I'd rather a child get sick. We need them in school, where our wonderful teachers and administrators can love them, mentor them, and more importantly, help protect them. Our teachers and staff are another set of eyes to help us identify issues we as parents may miss. We need them, and we need school. I plead with you and ask you to join us in protecting our children. Don't stop fighting for them to be at school. They need us now more than ever. We are leaving our children behind. Let's keep fighting for them. Thank you.
One of the only states in the entire country that is not providing an in-class option for kids right now. There is no reason, with our numbers as low as they are, for us to not provide in-class options for all kids. If teachers and students and families want to stay home and stay safe, they can have that option. But for the rest of us, we should be allowed to get our kids back in school. There is no reason for us to be still locked down like this. The metrics are ridiculous. Even New York City, the epicenter of the virus, has their kids going back to school already. So there's no reason for Oregon, with as low of numbers as we have. Our current case comes to 0.0001% of our population. That is inexcusable for us to be locked down. You are saying that someone's life is more valuable than this person's life. The people who are at risk of COVID can stay home and stay safe, but their lives are not more meaningful and more valuable than all of these kids who are struggling and suffering. There's no reason for us to continue to do this. It makes no sense. History is going to tell the tale, and it is not going to be a good ending.
Well, I'm a mother of 4 children, and I can tell you personally, my son says mental health matters. I feel like that is one of the #1 concerns. My son 2 times has referred kids in his high school to counselors for suicide because they talked to my son about suicide. And I just feel like the resources for kids that need that mental health help, they're not being met. And there's so many different obstacles that we're facing. Kids are scared, kids are lonely, kids are at home alone a lot of the time, and when they have a school to go to, they have a place and they have a community that is there to support them. And schools are valuable for so many reasons, and that, I think, is the #1 reason for mental health issues.
Mental health matters. It feels like this political virus makes it to where people aren't worried about the mental health of kids. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. It really feels like that to me too.
Thank you.
Next up we have a senior from South Salem High School. This girl born and raised in Salem. She's the best. If you know Gracie Fredenberg. She's awesome. Okay, Gracie is going to talk to us a little bit about what it's like, students. Take it away.
Hi guys, I'm Gracie Fredenberg. Oh god. Hi guys, I'm Gracie Fredenberg. I'm a senior at South Salem High School this year. I'm turning 18 next week actually, and Shalise asked me to share a couple of feelings about my feelings about not being able to go to school. And one of the things that Travis said that really stuck out to me, that relates to me a ton, is that kids shouldn't feel responsible for their little siblings' education. At my home, I'm very fortunate to have a mom and dad who both work for our family. A mom who works 3 days a week and a dad who works 5 to 6 days a week. And being the oldest sister with an older brother on a mission, it's hard to do your own schoolwork and to teach your siblings. It's hard. It's hard to not feel like they're your responsibility. And that puts so much more stress on you than a teenager already has. A teenager already has the stress of life, fitting in at high school, trying to find themselves. And it's hard when you have so much other stress going on that you don't need, that isn't your responsibility. I've suffered with anxiety and depression my whole entire life, since I was in 6th grade. And this has not helped at all. This has not helped at all. I'm a very sociable person. I'm a social butterfly. I love being around people. I love to get to know people for who they are. And not being able to go to school and meet new people and be with my friends is the absolute worst. Waking up every morning, not being able to go to school, there's not even words to describe the feelings that you wake up to every day, to have to see black screens with names on Zoom calls. There's absolutely nothing fun about it. I'm running for ASB president this year at South Salem High School. And I want to be able to make a change and to make events that students at South Salem High School can be excited for. Because I know as a senior, it's hard to not be able to look forward to things this year. It's hard. And I want to be able to give every child an opportunity, every student at South Salem High School, no matter gender, age, no matter what it is about you, I want to give opportunities to be able to have stuff to look forward to. It sucks not being able to go to school. Let's be honest. Even when we're in school, we always say it sucks to go to school, but it sucks more to not be at school at all. Let's be honest. So I hope that we as parents, as siblings, as students, as teenagers, that we can realize that if we don't try to fix stuff today in your guys' kids' lives, that it will end up being in my kids' lives, and I don't want that for them, because I especially don't want them to feel the things that I feel and other teenagers feel in today's world. I know school is important, and I know that it is something that is needed, and I hope that you all can, I'm so grateful you all are here to help make a stand, and I hope that we make a stand today. Thank you.
Go back to school. What do you
I think school's important. The being away from your parents and learning stuff is good. I'm not so sure about the indoctrination bullshit once you get to college, but right now it's important the kids actually go out and they have recess, they get to learn math and science if they still teach that kind of thing. I also see that there's a huge mix of people down here. So some people have said nice shirts, some people have called me a Nazi for wearing it, and then this has also been 50-50, but if you're gonna have to wear a mask, go to printonmyface.com, get one of these bad boys. Yeah, I don't know if I have kids, but if I did, I want to make sure they were in school. Yeah, I got nieces and nephews, and they're homeschooled, but they got to go to like their area, their meetup place, and apparently that's been a big problem too. So my sister and potential estranged baby mama are probably not getting paid to teach. So, either send the teachers at home a stipend, say, hey mom, now that you're doing our job, here's your tax money back. That would be a good start, I think. I think that moms at home and dads, you could teach while playing Xbox. I think that they need a stimulus, teaching stimulus, because what do teachers get paid? Not very much, but enough to do their job. So I think that should go out to all the housewives. Am I allowed to say that anymore? Is that an H word?
Uh-oh,
yeah, here we go. And I don't wear this for COVID, I wear this because I got bad breath.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, my message to Kate Brown is let the people decide whether or not school is essential or not. There are so many kids suffering, so many kids that are bored and not getting a proper education because of this time off. Enough is enough. Let's stop.
Hurts mental health, I think, right?
Mental health, spiritual health, because we can't go to church. That's different than schools, but it's like the whole world is shut down for these poor young developing minds, and we can do better.
Miss Delee Brown, she is a well-loved teacher in the district. She teaches music at Calapooya Elementary. She is the choir director for the Willamette Girls Choir here in town. And her husband is the choir director at Sprague. And she's a parent, a fabulous educator. So we are really, really honored to have her tonight. And Delee Brown. In all of my 25 years plus, I won't go how much further beyond that it is, of teaching, I have never seen students come out and protest to go to school. What kind of world are we living in? I am an educator and a mother, but more importantly, over these last couple of years, I have become an advocate for our children's mental health. And I wish to express my gratitude as well that I live in a free country where I can come and stand here on the steps of my state capitol and speak freely. The start of this school year has been nothing but difficult. I spent many hours over the summer on many committees helping to form and give options to parents and students for the online school experience of EDGE or returning to school in a hybrid learning model. Just weeks before the start of our school year, Governor Brown released metrics that forced all of us into comprehensive distance learning. Now, we understand why this is happening. There is no doubt we are battling a virus. Many say we'll get through this together and that we're all in the same boat. But I respectfully disagree. We may be in the same storm, but we are not all in the same boat. And our children are each in their own boats. We've gathered together today to let our state leaders know that our kids are sinking. Comprehensive distance learning has been a challenge to even the most privileged and capable children and families. And so for a moment, I must speak for the children today who are not so fortunate. I speak out for the children who do not have a home right now, whose mother drives them and parks outside of one of our schools so they can access the school's internet, so they can sit in their car with their Chromebooks to do their lessons. I speak out for the boy whose single mother cannot afford childcare and has taken her son to live with his grandparents who can supervise and see to his education. In Hawaii, I speak for this boy who is separated from his mother because school is not an option. I speak for the student who hides under his blanket during my Zoom meetings. I speak for the small child who sits all by themselves with no adult support. I speak for the child who is crying during my meeting because they are having a hard time keeping up. I speak out for the child who is so desperately trying to learn, but their technology continues to fail again and again and again and again. Comprehensive distance learning is not working for all students. We have children who are sinking. Now we understand and are saddened that we cannot go back to school tomorrow, and really we're not asking for that. But we are asking that our state leaders re-examine the metrics that have been set. Currently, they are unreasonable. 10 cases per 10,000 for 3 weeks in a row, or for the exemption for our younger students, 30 cases per 100,000 for 3 weeks. Unacceptable. We cannot meet these metrics, and if we continue to follow these metrics, it will be years before we are able to come back into the school building. Can you imagine our kinders not seeing the inside of a school building until 3rd grade, or our sophomores never returning to high school? Our children are sinking. 2 years ago today, I woke up for the first time to a world where my child no longer existed. 2 years ago yesterday, I lost my own teenage son to mental health, depression, and suicide. Mental health issues are not loud. They are too often silent. The water sinking our kids' boats is not coming from big waves coming over the sides of their boats, creating an emergency situation that we can see and fix quickly. Mental health issues seep through the small cracks in our kids' boats. The longer we force our students into more screen time and keep them isolated from each other, the larger the cracks become. So we stand together today and we plead, will you look at the metrics again? Is there no way to provide an option for in-person learning? Our kids are sinking. Is the cure worse than the disease we are fighting? I ask because our kids are sinking. When have we reached the point when we are no longer saving lives but trading lives? Governor Brown, our state officials, our kids are sinking. To be honest, I worry that our situation will not be changing anytime soon. And I fear that we are in this for the long haul. So, to you, to parents, be vigilant about your children's mental health. Reach out to them. Talk with them. Be with them. Reach out to families and to children who may not be as fortunate as you. And please, don't stop fighting for the education your students need and for the education that they deserve. Hold on. Continue to hope and keep your buckets ready. And please reach out if you've got a sinking boat, for there are many here who will come with their buckets. This will pass. This storm will pass. But we must do what we can to keep our kids' heads above water. We will not stand by and let them sink. We know that there is not a perfect solution, but we plead that our state leaders will re-examine the metrics, and we are pleading, our families and our children are pleading for an option for in-person learning. Governor Brown, don't let our kids sink, not on your watch. Thank you so very much for letting me come and speak today.
She doesn't want our kids to go back to school because it's about control. This will be years and years and years before our kids go back to school. It's about control, new world order, and we know that she will not allow them to go back to school this year or even next year. This is a dry run. And everybody that complies and does what they're told is the problem. This is a dry run. Hitler took away schools and he wouldn't allow them to go to movie theaters, and they were gassed within months because everybody complied. And this is what you're gonna get if patriots don't stand up, rise up, and fight for their freedom. We all need to stand up. Democrat, Republican, everybody should be standing up and fighting for our freedom. It is absolutely gone. Our freedom is gone. And my military family did not serve for our freedom to go away in 7 months.
Awesome. Can I get a picture inside?
Kids need to be in school. It's
been proven that COVID doesn't really pass through kids, and our kids have not learned anything in 2 weeks at all. All they've learned is how to basically fix a Chromebook and fix glitches and log in and log out because it's not working. And they're antsy, they're climbing up the walls, their mental health is not doing well. Because schools are closed, we don't have sports, and there's a lot of physical and mental effects from that. So I think it's really important that we get them back in school, at least part-time, in person.
Yeah, we've never seen long-term effects of our kids not being in school in this country.
We haven't, but even just this 2 weeks, we're seeing the effects, trust me, and having them home and quarantined for 6 months straight now, it's just, the effects on my 4 kids has been insane, like astronomical.
Open our schools!
I was asked, the gentleman over here has a Kate Brown something tonight. He said, what would you like to say to her, you know? And all I could say was, Governor Brown, I know you have to care, right? Somewhere deep down. You have to be able to find it within you, or your other colleagues, somebody find it, right? To be able to take that initiative to change the metrics. And if it's not her, then our school boards need to speak up. Our superintendents need to speak up. Our teachers need to speak up. I am so thankful to all of the teachers that have been brave enough and willing to, speak up kind of against the odds. There's a small group of them that they kind of like to make the choice for everybody. And so I hope that with this rally that each of you will continue to speak up on social media, speak up to your friends in a kind way, and ask them to, share their thoughts and just be more vocal in a way that will let our government leaders know that many of us, thousands of us, millions of us are ready to return back to the classroom. So thank you all for coming. If you we will continue for another hour. We're going to turn on the music again. If you will please take pictures and post them on your social media, tag. I have a couple jobs for you when you do this. Tag Governor Brown, tag Oregon Department of Education, tag the Oregon Health Authorities, and tag Salem Keizer Public School District, tag Cascade, any school district around the, right, okay, and anybody else, and send. Okay, there we go. And with that, let's play.